Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the People's Choice Podcast. I'm here with a very special guest. If you guys been rocking with me since episode, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say 5. If I'm not mistaken, was it 5? I think so.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
been
want
a
to
long.
trust my memory. So you don't want to trust my memory on that.
It's like we in the 50s right now, so it was a long time ago for all my peeps that have been rocking with me since then. You guys know exactly who this man is. We dove really into his business. We dove into all the books, his story writing, and he's back a little over a year later. I'm so excited to have him on here, chop it up, catch up. I mean, heck, we all looking different. Hair's longer on both of our ends, both getting slimmer too, man. Like, I see you, brother.
Hey, look, man, work be having me moving. I noticed that like a couple months after working there, I was like, my clothes starting to fit a little different. I was like, I paid up an extra notch on the belt. I was like, what's going on?
Facts, bro. I literally had to actually make a hole in my belt recently. I was with my I was talking with my health coach and sent a picture. So shout out to you, Gabby, when you see this. And she's like, "Oh my god, look at you!" And I'm like, "Thank you." But my bad. Go back to the introduction, my boy Matrell Wood. I love how I literally just went into a side conversation in the middle of your introduction. Like, damn.
Hey, look, it's all good. I feel it. Like it's one of those things that just happen. You're just like, you know what, man, I'm gonna just acknowledge it because like that really happened to me. Like
that's true, man. Like it's crazy to think, a little over a year, it's been, I've dropped over 50 something episodes and you've done your thing, man, too. And I know you've been keeping busy. I've seen that you got, a book, but it's like a volume 1 of a collection of 5 stories with some authors, other writers. Like we'll go into that too. Like, I mean, I'm real proud of you, bro. You've been doing your thing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And the same. I mean, I'd be watching videos, I'd be sharing them, and just be crazy watching them sometimes. And I'd be seeing what guests you be having on. I'd be like, okay, I see him, doing his little thing. It's like it's dope, man. It's dope to see you getting bigger and bigger. Just trying to see where you take it, man.
Definitely, man. Hopefully, I could take it to the top, bro. Definitely now on some more platforms too. You catch us on Amazon Music. I gotta put that out there because I don't push that as much as I should, but that's pretty cool. Besides being on Spotify. Like, dude, when me and you last talked, I was literally like just on YouTube and Facebook. Like,
yeah. Like, I remember you and it was crazy because I just started using Spotify. Like I didn't really use it before. I was using like YouTube Music. So I just switched over, and it was funny because somebody was talking about podcasts, and immediately when I started thinking, I was like, "Oh, you can look up podcasts on here." I typed in your name, and I was like, "Let's see if it's on there." And I saw it, I was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
but
man.
No, it's crazy, man. Because I mean, get on as many platforms as you can. I keep hearing that from people. It's hard, especially when you like don't do social media like that, though. But they'll be like, get on as many platforms as you can. One more person on each platform, and be like, yeah, that's.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And that's actually like the show. I'm trying to push the YouTube channel as much as I can. So for a quick reminder, make sure you guys subscribe if you enjoy this interview. But like Apple Podcast has been just a blessing. I mean, like I'm getting like 900 downloads, then 1,000 downloads, then 800. Like it's just all over the place. So, this is good. Even our episodes, like, because I like look back at like the stats and see like even past episodes how they're doing, and they're still like doing numbers, man.
So that's dope. I mean, hey, I ain't never gonna complain about that,
Exactly, man.
But that's
dope. Get out there. So let's dive right into it, man. What's life been like for you, bro? Are you still over there in Phoenix?
Yeah, so I'm still out here in Arizona. Still in the same place. I just changed up space a little bit, but no, man, it's been real. Definitely been dealing with a lot of real stuff lately. That's kind of trying to find a balance between certain things in my life so I could keep things moving how they've been going, but it's been real. Had some good opportunities lately though to just really talk to people and do new things, reach out and create new mediums. I've had a couple people reach out to me about writing the scripts for their comics.
Awesome.
And had people just talking to me about getting help with stories and sending me their manuscripts and stuff like that, and just asking me to read it over and get feedback to them. It's been really cool. having people reach out in that way, you know, feeling it, you know, like when you do it and you accept for yourself that you are doing this thing and you are who you are, like that's what you need to like push you forward. But when other people start treating you like that professional in that field, that's when it starts to feel real cool. Like, you know, I really have put myself in this position where you see me as I want to be seen. So that's been really dope over the last year, just getting those people talking to me and coming in. Especially after doing that last project that I just did and working with so many different other creatives. Like it's been really dope since then.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to talk about that because like when we were last talking on the podcast, we was talking about your book. And I think the Bard was just about to drop when we did the podcast. And then we talked about conversations with Grimm. So now that you got this collection, it's the Ahndrian Archives Collection Vol.1, if I'm not mistaken, where you have 5 stories and like authors and writers. Like, what was that experience like creating that? Because that's like 3 minds just
you know, awful. It was so difficult. I'm not going to give you no platitudes and be like, oh, it was a wonderful experience talking and meeting. It was awful. Half of the people that were going to be writing on it had to drop off for completely unforeseen circumstances. Not even like they didn't want to work on it. It's just like there was a brick wall and they had to stop. You know, it was gonna be a bigger project than it was, and we pushed it down, but I mean, still gave it just 110. One of the stories doesn't have art because of it, and even still, you know, it was one of my favorite stories to write. It sounds super pretentious, but I'm gonna just say it anyways. But it's like I was writing it, and it just made me go from like a metaphor into a metaphor kind of thing, but like as its own story. It's super weird. It's the Ayala story. But yeah, and I mean, just don't get me wrong, you know, it was great working with all these people, every single one of them. Brandon, who's on my team with the Ahndrian Archives, and in his own right, just an awesome fantasy writer. I mean, seriously, if you read The Long Death of Jacinda Masters, which is one of the stories in that collection, like the way that he just builds characters is so interesting. And then Ashley Greathouse, who is Greathouse Horrors. She's already a best-selling author in her own right, and she worked with us on that project and wrote this awesome horror short story. Super cool. And then just, you know, from the other writers to the artwork that we got from like Sierra and Diona, the cover by Dev. I mean, literally just, it was so cool seeing all these different people who had different styles who really did come together and, you know, do this project. And I mean, I was talking to the first time in the first interview that a big part of what I enjoyed was bringing together like minority creatives and stuff like that to be able to do things. And it was just really cool how naturally just the people that were in my circle that I knew, we had people from all across the spectrum on this project, you know, doing different things for this project, creating their own stories and their own characters. And that part alone was just dope as hell. But it still was the biggest headache I've ever dealt with. Like in so many years. I was talking to Ashley about it towards the end of the project, and she was just like, oh yeah, no, she was like, and working on anthologies too. She was like, yeah, this is rough. This is going to be your life for a little bit. I was just like, yeah, it was hard, but it's really cool to actually like have that finished product and to see it. The pictures are awesome. The stories are awesome. I had to learn a whole new skill because I edited it myself to do like the formatting for the text and making it look like a book. So it's kind of off, but you know, it was really cool
I couldn't even tell, bro. Honestly, it's really nice, man. Like I know you said it was just a headache, and you know, bringing those worlds together to create, you know, basically a masterpiece in a way. But like what exactly, like, you know, not what exactly, let's just let me rephrase that, but how long did the process take?
So I admit to fault on my part on that one, where I think I definitely didn't set the best timeline originally. So we ended up having to push the date back a couple times. But overall, I think we were working on it for like 6 months. And honestly, probably should have been much longer than that, to be honest with you. That was the part that I feel like was definitely a failure on my part, and something that I had to take into account when trying to plan something like this for the next time. But it was still, you know, the effort that went into still trying to get this done on time, and the push that the people that worked with us gave, especially because we're so small and there's not much that we can offer anyone else. And they're giving a lot to us with their talent, so it's like it was just really crazy getting all that crunch time in, just on my part, to try and make sure everything was good and not have to put any more stress on anybody else, because it was like I knew I had the time and I had the patience, but it was just like I did not expect it to be the load that it was. And that was just all a learning experience. It was just one of those things where it's like you can learn as much as you want from someone telling you, but it was doing it, that we was like practice versus like learning from the book is a whole different thing. And I was like, yeah, that slapped me in the face real hard.
That's true. Kind of like my days of football, where it's like, practice is so much different than the games. Like,
yeah, then you get hit on the field. Then you get tackled. And it's like, okay, now I understand. Like,
exactly. And the beauty of that, like, that you guys created, volume 1, where it's 5 stories into one. So it's like everyone that reads it can get a little bit of everything. Like I read that you had, like you guys discussed serial killing. You also brought in, was it 2 from the previous books that you've made into that story? And if you want to elaborate more on it.
So yeah, it's kind of like you said. It's 5 different stories, but they're all in the same universe, which is for the Ahndrian Archives thing. But they're all their own stories, each set in their own time, their own characters, and presenting the idea of these abilities and the power of the Ahndrian in different ways. It's like you said, 2 of them involve serial killers. I guess technically 3, but the serial killers are like the main part in 2 of them. One of them is a superhero story, like full-blown action superheroes. And that one's super cool. If you get a chance to look at that one, I'm planning on working with him again. At some point, I want to work with him again to like really give him a chance to talk about those heroes he created. Because me and him, we had a lot of conversation about the world. It was so much fun working with him because he asked me a lot of questions to really get the characters in the world and everything right. And it was just really cool getting into that with him. So I really want to work with him again. Then there's The Long Death of Jacinda Masters, is like a sci-fi fantasy in the future, a lot more tech and magic based. And that one is within its own right, just creates its own world of itself. And then Alice, which is set in an unknown time period somewhere within the timeline. And all of them just build these pieces of the universe together. A Conversation with Grimm is in the collection as well, but it includes some artwork now. So on top of just the story that could have been read before and can still be read, of course, on the website for free, you could buy the Ahndrian Collection to see the artwork that was done along with it by Diona. And she did her own rendition of Eclipse. She did Eclipse's scythe, the dagger that she uses as her scythe. And then just some object artwork for some of the scenes to help set the scene. And it's really, really cool. Diona has this really, really dope art style. She uses a lot of bold lines. And so if you get a chance to, even if you just look at her art, Diona did, and the artwork is incredible. But it was really cool being able to put that one in there and having that free version, and then the one with the artwork. And we're planning on taking all the stories that are within the Ahndrian Collection and putting them up on the site without the artwork. So just the stories themselves that everybody can read for free, but to be able to see the artwork that these artists did and help contribute not only to us, but to them, you can get the collection and really see, you know, the love that went into each story right there with the artwork and everything kind of tying it together.
Awesome, brother. That is awesome. Is there volume
And
2 in the works?
Yeah. So definitely want to keep doing it. And the hope is to continue to bring new writers and new artists in when we do it. That being said, because of what I learned from the last experience, you know, I do want to take my time with this one and make sure when we do it, you know, I want to do at least 10 to 12 stories in it as a minimum. You know, and really be able to give each person the time to personalize the style and the themes and stories they want to tell. Kind of have a chance to do what I did with Lee. Lee Goodman is the one that wrote Red and New Heroes. And just really give them a chance to understand what they're writing into and have them be, you know, excited about it. Everybody was excited about working on this. And that was probably the best part for me, was the more that they heard about what they were working on, the more into it they got. And that made me feel really excited, because I felt like we were doing something, you know, that made, you know, it made sense, you know, and I'm glad it did, because I, you know, no matter what happens, you know, I love what was created. And it, you know, it was cool. I got to put some extra stuff in there. There's a kind of like a letter in the beginning that is also part of the universe. It is something that's in the voice of a character. That is just a fun little Easter egg I threw in for the universe, and something that we're planning on building as a whole. And then at the end, just giving a thank you to the readers, and a letter from the Ahndrian Archives, just thanking, and, you know, the people who bought it and the people who talk about us and all of that. So it was just fun putting all these things together and being, you know, looking at it and being like, you know, I made this, like I did this, you know, with all these people, and the fact that it was something that I dreamt up and then it became something, you know, was really cool. And I hope I continue to get that feeling with each book, but, like, you know, we'll see. But
I think
it was cool.
I definitely think you will, bro. And, you know, I just love how you're creating these universes and you get to create like these characters. I mean, like, that's amazing. That takes like some unique talent. Like, how do you get yourself in that mind space to even do it? Like, because, like, for me, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm traditional, you know, sports head, you know, or just type, you know, like, I'm just to create that, and then to also like to reel people into like how do you do that, bro? Like, what's your process or your secret for maybe some inspiring art authors?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy because I don't know. I don't think there is a secret, I guess. Just because I don't really think it's kind of weird how to phrase it. I don't really think like this process is necessarily something that is a unique talent so much as it is a unique love. Because I feel like, you know, really
that's deep.
Anybody, it's not that deep.
Like, no, that was deep, bro. Like, when you're like, it was the love, like, because I don't know, when you said that, it just like clicked to me, where it's like, you know, do something you love. And, you know, like, well, the quote is do something you love, the money comes, but it's like, just do something you love. And, you know, I'm sitting there like, what's the secret? How do you do it? I'm trying to grasp it. And you're like, well, I'm doing something I love. So it's like, of course, duh.
Well, I mean, but not even just like that. It's just like, you know, I read, you hear about sites, you know, where people post all the time, just random fan fictions they write, just random people pouring just thoughts out of their head and and so many people create so many things. And it, you know, at this point, I can't even say, like, YouTube is full of people doing short skits and short films. I watch short films from just like, I go down the black hole, you know, I'll watch one from like a popular channel, and then I'll just go down the black hole until I'm watching a short film that's got like 2 views. And I'm having so much fun doing it. It's somebody who's just super funny, but like no one's seen their video. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people can create. It's just when you love creating, it tends to get more people's attention. if it's something that you're super passionate about, I mean, obviously there's a lot of different factors that involved in it that can make you popular or not. You could love it passionately and never sell anything a day in your life. But it's just like when you really love it, you're going to keep practicing it, which means you're going to get better at it. And if you don't practice it, then you're not going to get better at it. So it's like you could be bad at it and love it, or you could be good at it and love it. It just depends how you work at it. So I don't really think there's a secret so much as just like one day I kind of just had to stop being lazy and decided to learn more and actually start writing. And every writer that I keep talking to, especially like I see Ashley post about it all the time on her page, and it was just like the biggest thing about doing better as a writer or anything is like just pushing yourself to do it. Like don't wait for the motivation to come, do it, and the motivation has to come to you. And at that point, I'm just like, I don't know, I guess I just got to stop being lazy. Like, I know I have a discipline problem and I got to work on it.
Facts, man. I'm the same way. And I actually posted something just this morning. I mean, well, by the time the peeps and everyone see this, it'll be gone. But like it was like motivation, and it was like habits, like developing that, habit of like constantly, like the discipline, constantly like, okay, I'm doing this for this amount of time. I'm doing this amount of time. Because even me, like there's days where like, even though I'm super positive and I love what I do, and I think I got, a year and a half of showing that to the world. But there is times where I'm like, I don't really want to edit. I don't.
Yeah, and that's the rough part. Like just trying to get past that bit where laying in bed, like, man, I have to go to my computer and start writing. And it's like I gotta plan this story out and do this, and it's just like it gets to me. I'm just like I could just stay in bed. It's like no, you can't just stay in bed. Like. It's crazy, and everybody's got their own little tricks that they use. The same things don't work for everybody. Like I know for me, sometimes just having an actual notebook with a pen will get me to start writing more than sitting at my computer, and then I'll just have to like type that in later. And even that sometimes I'm like, oh God, I really have to do that. Like, why did I make this decision? But everybody's got their own little tricks. It's just finding whatever gets you to get off your ass.
Big facts, man. And it's cool that you mentioned like short films, because I'm actually I don't really like speaking things before it happens, but I'm actually auditioning for a couple short films.
Look, nah,
too late. I already said it. I'm actually auditioning for some.
That's good. That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, I definitely support pursuing multiple avenues. Like, definitely do your thing and do something else you love too. But no, I think that's dope, man. I definitely would hope to see you in something. I got a couple homies that are pursuing acting and things like that. And one of my homeboys has been doing a lot of things lately that I've been super proud to see him. Shamar Little, if you ever see anything with his name in it, like, he's funny as hell, and he's dope as hell. His acting is dope. So I definitely can't wait to see you do some acting. That'd be dope as hell.
Definitely, man. I'm excited for it, man. And that's all I was going to ask, because I know when we first had the podcast way back, you talked about you was doing even screenwriting, like screenplays. Like, have you tapped into possibly short films or even like film writing?
So yeah, I was just thinking about that too. Like right after I finished, I've been working on a lot of different things. Trying to get scripts together for comics, for books, for samples for TV shows or web shows and stuff like that. Just different types of things to put together in a portfolio to really be able to present to people I want to work with. But recently, I just finished up a script for a short film that I want to start filming out here. That's delves into a different part of the universe that we haven't talked about in the stories that we've written, and really start to expand on that idea that I wanted, where the universe expands across mediums. So really getting that continuation in other mediums like film, the comics and stuff like that. And that's why I really wanted to start branching out with. So I finished that script a couple weeks ago.
Awesome, man.
And just been talking to some people about what steps I could take from here, trying to make sure I take that that learning step before I just dive right in again, even though I'm still like standing at the edge of the pool, like I'm ready to try to take on something new, and got to make sure I keep my head on straight this time. But it's another thing that's definitely been a labor of time and love, and trying to get the discipline together again, because even as a short film, it took me a lot longer to get through it than it should have, and I kept on it, but I think in the end, I like where it came out, and I'm working on another one right now. The first one's kind of a romance fantasy thing. The second one, I'm trying to do a horror one. So really want to try to expand genres and mediums.
Bro, I cannot wait to see that, man. For real, like to see those come to life.
Me too, man. Me
especially,
too.
Like, I would say even especially when you tap into the comedy too, man. Because I know we joked about it last time we talked, when you're like, man, I got jokes, but they don't believe me. I'm like, I know, I had AFM class with you. You can keep me entertained in that class, I know, and not just me, but a couple others like Brian and oh man, I forgot her name already. I feel bad. She might see this, but I love you. Just know that.
I mean, let's be honest. If you can't even remember the name, like, how would she know you're even talking about her?
Exactly right.
That's when we're gonna get the message. Be like, it's me, assholes. But, oh, my bad.
For real. I'm like, I'll make you the peep of the week. I'm sorry. My next question.
It's
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. No, I was just. It's funny because I've been talking about this a lot lately with some of the people that I met at my new job. And it was just the fact that I laugh at my own jokes more than anyone else. Like we'll be at lunch or something, and I'll say something, everybody will just look at me, and I'll be laughing, and I'll be like, that was funny. I don't care what y'all say.
Exactly, man. Like, hey, we ain't about to argue. I'm funny. Like, there's something wrong with y'all. So I was going to ask, because my next question was, where do you see Ahndrian Archives in the future, or future plans possibly for it? But I know we talked a little bit about, you getting into screenwriting and, talking about the romance you're going to be doing, horror. So what's some other things that your fans and newer viewers, like my new peeps and old peeps, could expect?
Yeah. So, man, it's crazy because I feel like the dream changes a little bit every day with like the different things that I notice from what I've been doing, what I'm learning to do, or just what I find to be, usable for me, and also what the people that I'm working with, what they can handle or do or want to do. And I think right now, the biggest thing for us is just taking each project step by step, just building the universe and figuring out a way to just not only talk more about the universe, but get people talking more about it. And so I've been thinking about like expanding into TikTok, trying to learn how to do that, because it's already like weird for me to get on camera and talk. So like trying to do that regularly is going to be weird, but trying to do that, plans for what kind of artwork we might create, what kind of stories we might do. Just talking with Brandon recently about a new story he wants to do, and just taking each thing step by step, trying to figure out other projects we can do, like the Ahndrian Collection, that will bring in other writers, and kind of develop a little bit more of a community of people who have their foot in the Ahndrian Archives, have had a hand in it, and can say, I was part of building that. But the biggest thing I think really is just trying to create more stories like that. The biggest thing is like, I keep thinking about it. I'm just like, I just want to be able to tell more stories and the different pieces of the universe. And I think the biggest thing right now for what I see for our future is just being able to have more stories, actually having this accessible library of stories for people to be able to read. Right now, we got like 4 or 5 that are fully accessible. I think 3 on the website that are free, the 2 books, and through all that, I want to be able to build a little bit more and stories in different ways. The gallery that's on there now, where you can click on the pictures for the characters, and it'll bring up like a bio page for them. And you can see, just random biographical information like the eyes, their hair, but you can also see like their favorite foods and drinks and hobbies. You can see their powers, who they're associated with, and like a little bit of short backstory and just like different ways to give out little bits of story and things like that and build it up to make the universe more personal. So it's like I don't have anything that I see as sort of a concrete that I'm able to really talk about at the moment. You know, kind of like how you feel like I don't like talking about certain things. It's like I want to make sure it's coming into being before I just speak it. But it is definitely something that we're working on. There is I wouldn't say an end game, but a goal for us to hit. It's just right now, it's the step by step. You know, it's each story right now is just the important pieces.
Definitely. And I love that you're gonna be doing the character bio too, because it's always fun, like when you get some backstory. Like, I don't know, like if you ever like go to like let's use an example, Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And like you get like you go on their bio, like Legolas, and you find out like he's been alive for however long, like, you know, saying his first like war or whatever, or you know, you hear about Gimli and his family, how far back they go. So I like that you're going to introduce that too. Do you plan on? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just like the Lord. I can't remember the name, and somebody will probably hate me for it. It's just like the Silmarillion, or it's like a encyclopedic book of like the Lord of the Rings universe, and it's like told like almost as a story. It's super cool. I've seen it, but I haven't like read through it.
Awesome, brother, for real. Yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, with your characters, because you're gonna be tapping into even more superheroes and even, you know, villains and like the serial killers and stuff. Do you plan on possibly even doing merch one day, like of maybe those characters?
I definitely want to. I've been thinking about that a lot lately too. A cousin of mine has kind of like a t-shirt. I think like right now he's mostly just doing like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, but he's building like his own kind of brand. And I've been wanting to talk to him and maybe talking about working with him to have kind of a line between the two companies so that both of us can work together, one just as family, but also just for bringing both of our respective businesses to, you know, other people's attention. But yeah, no, definitely, especially with the release of Red and the New Heroes was a big one that made me start thinking about like, these are like the first superheroes we've ever had written about, you know, for the universe. And I feel like they look dope. Like his one, Red, the one that's like the main character, is just this black kid with like his dreaded hair, and like he wears like basically Jordans and, you know, shorts, and like dude just looks cool the way he described him, and then the way that Diona drew him up, like he just looks really dope. And you can see him in the book. I can grab one from the side in a minute. I can even show you, like it's really dope, man, how he looks. But just thinking about getting like that whole team drawn up on like a hoodie, to me was like a dope idea. And from there, I was just like, you know what, that would be a good idea to start at least like a t-shirt, hat, you know, something with like a characters and logo or something to get out there and wear myself. You know, I would definitely wear something with red, like a hoodie with red on it or a t-shirt with red on it, because I feel like that character design just got really, really dope. And even like Magnus, I would love to have on like a bookmark or something like that, because I feel like his character design is dope. And there's all kinds of things, you know, that can be done now that art has become more of a prevalent thing. So definitely thinking about the merch thing just is another one of those things where it's going to be a step-by-step process to get there, to make sure I'm doing it right, you know, or at least doing it enough to where my mistakes aren't catastrophic and it's just something I can learn from.
Through that, man, and I can't wait because I know it's gonna be looking fire, man. You know, like heck, I'm doing my own little thing. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I see.
You know, with
the logo.
Yeah, you know, that's just, you know, a little something. You know, I wore it. This is my second time wearing the visor on the show.
Light,
you know, something exactly, a little something light. You know, I got some things in the works, but with me, eventually, well, I guess breaking news that I never talked to on camera, but yeah, I'll be changing the name, which it kind of sucks because I've always been known as the People's Choice, because like even though there's People's Choice Awards and People Magazine, but like as growing up, people were like, "You're the people's choice." Like my boy Dom was going, "Yeah, people's choice, people's choice. What's up, man?" I go to the parties where people's choice like that. That's all. I like it means something to me, but I know moving forward, it's gonna be confusing for people to they thinking they're gonna get like I got tagged on Twitter one time. The People's Choice Awards was given like a shout out to some people that they tagged me, and I was like, well, thank you, I appreciate that, but that not me, so it's definitely gonna change up, but I'm definitely gonna keep the P logo for all my peeps out there, man. So it's merch is awesome, like it really is, and if you ever need it, it is, man. Like I mean, this shirt is actually a custom People's Choice shirt. My ex gave it to me. I still love you, by the way. She was, he's like, what? I'm a clown, bro. I got a clown a little bit. I know. But she got this for me too. It's like a Valentine's Day present. But God. It's dope though, man, for real. But if you ever need any help with that, man, like I got some people, man. Like we can make this thing happen, brother, for real. So my next, what?
Probably will. No, I probably will.
Oh, yeah, just hit me up, man. Like I got you, bro. I'm telling you, like the show and even me as an interviewer has grown so much. I got so many different contacts for almost anything now. It's awesome, man. I believe you, man. I like, I look at you like the next Stan Lee, man, because you could create the universes and you could like bring. I'm telling you, bro. Like I read your stuff, man. I got one of your books. Like I'm really believing in you, bro, and just your drive and
right there.
Yeah, man. So once this show eventually blows up too, well, mad people are gonna watch the back, episodes too. So it's gonna be like,
look how
snap,
look how pretentious that guy was.
Like, right.
But no, man. So yeah, this is the Ahndrian Collection right here. It's super reflective because it's a gloss hardcover. They all hardcover, real nice. But yeah, man. So the front of it. I did the copyright is kind of funny to me. I don't know. It's my super lame type of humor. It is not. It's serious, but not super serious. And then this is the letter. I don't know if the camera's even focusing on it.
A little bit.
With the signature and everything. But yeah, no. So the art, like I said, this was done by Sierra.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
And it's just, an object from the story, important objects from the story that help set the scene. Ooh. I mean, seriously, Sierra
that is nice.
It's all, and this is all like, done by hand for them. Like it's crazy.
Shout out to you, Sierra. That is nice.
This is Red. This is the first superhero that we've ever had.
He looks cool already. He's almost like a 2021, 2022 Static Shock, almost like, man.
No, that is the kind of superhero I want to be. When Lee first described him, I was like, this is about to be the dopest thing. Like, and I was not disappointed at all. His whole team, like the way he describes his whole team is just mad crazy. I can't wait to get art of all of them. Yeah. This is from Brandon's story.
Oh, I love the detail, man. And this is all by hand, you said, right?
Yeah, this is another one of Sierra's.
Wow, that is so nice.
Red is one of Diona's. That was one of Sierra's. I mean, literally, man, it is so cool seeing the symbol from the story, seeing that come to life with the envelope that I wrote the words, I imagined in my head. And then like when she drew the symbol on the envelope, it was crazy to just like see it and be like, as small as it is, like it's a small thing from my story that I saw come to life. And then the whole project's just dope. The cover was done by Dev Hirana. If you can see, like there's little symbols to represent each story that she put into the border of the covers, so each symbol represents a different story.
Wow, man, that is nice. Like just the backstory, the detail of that, like that is so dope, man. Like
yeah, I mean, it's just super cool watching it all come together.
Yeah, and all my peeps, you can pick up that book. You can pick it up on Amazon. I saw the link for that. Also on your website, the AhndrianArchives.com. I mean, that is dope, man. Like, hey, let me give you a round of applause for that, man. Like that. Like, congratulate, like the whole team, man,
To all
just
of them, man.
working
How
on
about that?
that,
Yeah,
man. The whole
to
team.
all of them. I mean, it's and all their names, are right there up in the front.
Let me zoom in on that for them. Yeah, because that is
And
nice.
to be able to really see and give them, all of them their credit, man. They were all
Exactly.
awesome.
We want to give you all y'all
All of them.
flowers, man. For real, that's a nice collection. I can't wait for volume 2.
Me too, man. I can't wait to see who's writing in it. It's gonna be a surprise for me.
It's gonna be awesome, though. That's one thing I know. It's gonna be awesome, man. So I always ask all my guests about their favorite quote, and I believe I even asked you that when I had you back on the first episode that we did way back when. And it's funny because I've had a couple people return like a year or so later, and sometimes they've actually given me a different quote. So I was wondering, like, what's your favorite quote that you lean on during the good times or the bad times?
You know what's crazy? I got a note thing in my
You was
phone.
ready for this one.
It's Isaac Asimov. It's in life, unlike chess, the game continues after checkmate.
Ooh, dang! Say that again, man. That was nice.
Is in life, unlike chess, the game continues after checkmate. And
Ooh.
I really, really love that one when I heard it. I think I heard it on Criminal Minds. Pretty sure it was a quote that I heard on Criminal Minds. They do it like at the beginning of every episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching it during a time where I felt like I hit rock bottom. And I was like, if this is bottom, I might as well just get comfy with like a life I don't like, that I can just get by in, just whatever. And then like after that and talking with some people, but after hearing that quote and thinking about it, just one of those things, overthinking it and then thinking about it some more, it was like, I can just do it again. It was like I was like, it just dawned on me. I was like, I can just do it again. Like I can just try again. Mm-hmm. And after that, I just loved the quote and I put it in my notes. And every once in a while, just thinking about it every once in a while when I'm feeling down or I'm just laying down, I'm just like, you can do it again. Like you can do it again. Just do it again. Definitely. So yeah, that's definitely the one that I think got me.
That's the universe really speaking to me, man. Like I was literally just talking to my brother about like that same thing, not exactly like the quote, but just saying like, if you do something once, you could do it again. Like, cause we were talking about like just setbacks and then getting up, like, cause we've talked about our like battles with depression and battles with, just dealing with things. And it's like, it's a great feeling when you get yourself up, when you pick yourself up and you look back where you're like, damn, man, like that really sucked, but I'm so proud of myself and amazed that I was able to get up. And then, we were just reminding ourselves, man, we've been through worse, or we've been through some shit, where it's like you do it once, you do it again, so that's crazy, man. That's awesome. For all my peeps, like, please share this to someone who need to hear that, because there's someone out there that you probably don't even know. They probably seem like the happiest person in the world and your best friends, family members, but that right there could really change their life. So definitely share that.
I mean, like, and like I said recently, life has been life recently and dealing with a lot of stuff. And, you got to admit that there's been days where getting out of bed is difficult. I think yesterday I slept for like 11 hours after I got off of work, and knew for a fact that was not a good thing. But got up today and did something, because I realized it, and it's not easy to do, and it's definitely something I wasn't able to do before that I'm able to do now. But it's every day, like you just like to say, every day, just having to remember, like, even if you feel like you have been defeated or you are being defeated, as long as you are still alive, you can try again. And as far as I know, there's still a chance that even after death, you can try again. It might be super creepy for some people. If you're a ghost, I don't know. If you resurrect, I don't know. But, you can always try again as long as there is another step in front of you that you can take. That was another one that I really liked, where it was like, you don't have to see a mile down the road. You only have to see a step ahead of you or something like that. It was something close to that. That was a good one too.
Yeah, so I
heard it. Yeah, I heard it, a very interesting rendition of it in a podcast by Critical Role, which is basically a bunch of voice actors that play D&D. It's how they introduce the show. But yeah, was a really weird rendition by a dumb character. So it was funny, but it's another one that I think definitely kind of goes along with it, where it's like, you don't have to see the end goal. Just if you see the next step towards it, just take that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one too. Yeah, please, my peeps, definitely share that one. That's a good one, because sometimes we just cloud our brain up with so much stuff that we're dealing with, no matter, like, say, if it's depression or finances or job or career or doubt. That's a big one. Like, you know, sometimes we, even though we're in our element, we're doing something we love, that thought of doubt like could creep in, like, man, am I wasting my time? Or, you know, am I really gonna make it? Or, you know, stuff like that. But heck, when you cancel out that noise and stop trying to look so much at the end goal, like you said, and just focus on the next step and just constantly growing, like, man, you gotta make it. You gotta make it.
And you know what they say, you're your own worst enemy. It's damn
Facts.
true. Like,
Facts.
ain't nobody gonna hold you back like you. It's cool though. I mean,
Facts. No one's gonna hold you back like you, and no one's gonna push you like you. Like you,
facts.
you, all my peeps, you. My boy Matrell,
you. Wait, hold on. Wait, what you mean? Push me?
See, that's why I throw it in there, right? Real quick. See, I'm still slick with it. You know,
don't put that pressure on me.
Nah, you know, sometimes we need a little pressure. You know, like, I had a good friend.
Man.
I had a good friend of mine put pressure on me, like, with the podcast. Like, she was like, "Yeah, you know, how long you been doing this for now?" And I said, "September 26th, make 2 years." And she's like, "Awesome, awesome. So have you, you know, you interviewed like The Rock or someone?" I was like, "Come on now, no." Like, why would I? No, I'm like, I'm still getting up there. Yeah, and then she's like, that's your problem, Alvin. Why are you aiming down there? Why don't you aim up there? One day you will interview The Rock. And I said, damn, you're right. Because I'm sitting there just aiming low.
One day.
Yeah, exactly. One day. But I was just like, it blew me away, because I was like, man, maybe I am aiming, you know, kind of low. Like, you know, because she was like, why are you aiming down there? Like, because she's a motivational speaker too. So she's like, why are you aiming down there? You got to aim up here. Like, you know, you're going to interview The Rock one day. And, you know, everyone knows I love The Rock. So I'm like, hey, maybe I'm manifested.
Give you that full Tony Robbins, man. But
for real, man.
But no, I mean, no, she's right though. I mean, for sure, definitely one of those things. Like, I know for a fact that I will daydream and put it like into effect as like a long-term goal. I know for a fact, like, I want to make a movie with certain actors in it. Like, I want to be able to sit down at that table and be like, I wrote this script and we're casting this person in it. Like 100% this person, like various different actors that I would love to write a role for. But I know, one, there's just, to a certain degree, there's a lot of people that I just probably don't write well enough that they would want to portray that character just yet. So I will continue to get better until I hit that level. And two, there's just, obviously, I'm not like a name that people know. So a lot of people aren't going to want to work with me. It's like, so I got to get to that point. It's like, I know I want to hit that goal. But yeah, right now I'm shooting for like a C-list actor to be able to just accept me. Like, you know, so I definitely think it's one of those things, is just make sure you're not overstepping the small steps if you shoot high at the very least.
True that.
Because you will feel that crash and burn when you fall on your ass if you don't make sure you're paying attention to how you're moving up, not just where you're moving up.
Exactly. I'm like, I asked for the rock and I got the pebble. There's like, you know? No,
next up, you'll get the boulder.
For real, get the boulder, exactly. But man, when you mentioned the actors, actually, what's some actors that you would actually love to write for? Like, just imagine having them at a table read. Like, who is some actors that you would love to
just to have at a table read?
Yeah, just like they're reading your script, and you know,
that'd be
like, crazy.
I would love to have, like, man, this is crazy. I would love to do like Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie. Shout out to Freddie. He don't get enough credit, man. He's a great actor and a writer.
Dude, oh my God. I don't know why, but just the thought of pairing him and Samuel L. Jackson for some reason just sounds like absurdity. There's just something about that. Just it sounds ridiculous and right.
As long as you put motherfucker in it, I think Samuel's down for it.
God.
Well, I know Denzel's always one person I would love to.
Yes, that was another one that was on my list. Don Cheadle was another one that was on my list.
Definitely. Hey, even Ryan Rollins, man.
Jordan Peele would love. I would love to write a movie with him.
Yeah.
God, why can't I think of anyone? Like, why is my mind so blank?
I put you on the spot.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's one of those things that's crazy. It's because I think about it all the time. Like, I just be walking around, like at work, or just I'll go for a walk on the street. I walked for like 11 miles the other day, just walking around in circles, and was just thinking about random actors like that I would love to put in. I was like trying to make like a top 5 list. Ended up making a top 5 list, and the moment you asked me that question, it was like, what list? You didn't make that list.
That's like, true.
That list was never there. What you talking about? You ain't make that list.
Once we finish this up, I know it's gonna jump back in. You're gonna be like, damn it.
I'm gonna hit you up on Instagram and be like, oh, this was what it was. Facts. Just added a voice clip in after you asked the question. It's like, this is actually what he meant.
So, bro, and I've had a blast talking with you, catching up with you a year and a half later. I just got 2 more questions. And I'll let you, give you shout outs and, where people can find you. So my next question is gratitude. Like, that's been keeping me grounded lately. And I've been in such a great place mentally lately after being in a freaking damn near abyss for a little bit. So I've been really pushing gratitude, and I'm really putting that as like a staple for all of my guests. Just asking them, because I wake up grateful for something, just puts me in the right mood. So what are 3 things that you're grateful for in your life, bro?
Oh, wow. Narrow it down to 3. Okay.
Or if you got more, we'll take it.
No, I mean, it's just crazy because, especially when you're going through tough stuff and you have to think about it. And I think yesterday, just when, like I told you, just getting up out of bed, I kind of had to reaffirm that with myself. One, definitely just for where I'm able to stay right now. I'm with my family, and they've helped lighten the load on my bills and stuff like that, so I could put more time and focus and money towards the company to help build that. My friends that I have been crazy supportive, and just being able to talk with them about certain stuff and get it off my mind helps clear me up a bunch. Plus, I just being able to get together with them, the effort we put into surround each other with each other, it really helps. I'm on the other side of the country from them, and once a week still we get together and we play Dungeons and Dragons online. And that for me is like something I'm super grateful just to have people who actively want to do that and be there for that. And it's something that, because of my position in the game, I'm a central figure, and to want to be part of something that I am a part of is really, really helpful in getting my energy up to be able to do what I do. And then overall, it's kind of cliche, but just like being alive, like it's one of those things, kind of like with the depression thing we talked about earlier. Just like I went through a lot of really, really tough, low mental spots from a young age all the way up through adulthood, and even still having to stave off just the hard times emotionally and mentally every once in a while. And the fight that was kept up to make sure I was continuing to try to actively do positive things for myself when I didn't want to has drastically changed my outlook on myself and my life, and just how I view who I am. And so just the people in my life that helped me do that, the things in my life that helped me do that, the positions I've been in, the places I've been, all the opportunities that I've been presented that I actually did take a part of and do something with, like all of that to be grateful for, whether in the end things did turn out poorly again or they didn't, to be able to have experienced something new kind of keeps me motivated to try new things to this day, because it's like, maybe again I'll be able to experience something that you don't know what you don't know. So if I don't know that something new is out there to experience, I won't know until I try it. So, you know, there's so much. It's as bad as things get. I know there's so much to be grateful for because I'm still able to experience new things, even at this young age that I'm at, and feeling like I've been alive for forever. You know, just everything starts to feel, when everything starts to feel old, I still get to do something new. Someone can still say something new to me. And that little feeling right there, that's probably like the thing I think I'm most grateful for, because that's the thing that helps me, you know, remember to stay focused on the other things that I can be grateful for.
Big facts, man. That's good, man. Don't you feel good after you just like when you say like what you're grateful for, you're like, wow, man, I feel better. Like
Yeah, but it also makes me feel like super pretentious. Like I'm trying to sound way too deep for like who I am. Like I'm like 40 years too young to be a philosopher, you know? So, you know, sometimes I'll say certain shit and I'm like, the stuff that I'm saying is not as deep as it sounds. Like when I'm saying it, like, yes, it means a lot to me, but it's like surface level deep. Like if we go deep, I'm gonna need a therapist chair. Like we're gonna be talking.
Hey.
Those are I mean, sometimes it's just like things that I just think about and just like, yeah, you know what, that kind of resonates with me.
Man, I had a guy one time I was talking with, and he was like, "Man, I'm thankful for my smartphone." So I mean, don't you know, like it's crazy as that seems.
I mean, yeah,
but yeah, like it's
not
like,
wrong. Like this shit makes my life so much easier. It's also the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but it makes my life so much easier.
Big facts, man, for real. And where can all my peeps and new audience find you on social media?
Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is definitely the best one at this point. Instagram is the easiest one for me to use and to be on constantly, and like ease of access for putting stuff up there. But yeah, definitely Facebook and Instagram are two big ones. I'm trying to figure out how to use Twitter more in a way that won't suck. And then I'm hoping to get into TikTok as well and to start making videos specifically about the universe, like not specific stories, sometimes specific stories, but mostly like characters and places, the universe itself, mechanics of the universe, the languages of the universe, things like that. And then YouTube is another one, and almost all of these, it's the Ahndrian Archives. Twitter's a weird one because it's too short, so it's just Ahndrian Archive. And then, of course, there's our website, AhndrianArchives.com. We have a brand new website from the last one that we had when I was on here the first time. I learned more about that and rebuilt it again. And now, you know, there's a member sign up now. You can log into the site. You can like stories. You can leave comments on stories and share them. You can go and see your favorite characters and, you know, different things like that. And then we'll be adding more stuff, you know, a gallery and just more to the website, but it's definitely more ease of access now. When you read the stories now, it's actually like a book. So you flip through the pages just like a book. You can even get the sound on there. You can download it so that you can read it offline. So many different things that you can do on the site now that we have for you to be able to really feel like you're more a part of the community. I hope one day we'll be able to open up kind of like a community posting page and things like that. So we're really hoping to expand more and build a community out of this, you know, not just a place for you to read the stories, but a place for you to talk about the stories or talk about your life and things like that. You know, maybe the stories resonated you in some way and you want to see if it resonated with somebody else, you know, different things like that. Just wanted to be able to bring a community into the Ahndrian Archives. And so we're starting for the most part right now with that, with on the website and just being able to sign in and really feel like you're a part of the website and the stories and be able to talk about them. But yeah, no, those are definitely all the places that I can think of. I mean, we have like scattered accounts on like Reddit and stuff like that to just like find, you know, people to work with, things like that. I like trying to hire off like people who are trying to hire off like artist page and be like, you know, available for work and stuff like that. I like to try to work with those people to get different styles and things like that. So it's definitely like an all over the place kind of thing. Just really bad at social media, still trying to get the hang of that. So please follow us if you like our stuff, if you just want to support, if you just want to help, please, give us a like and a follow. I don't know how often we'll be posting just yet, but we're trying to do it more. We're trying to get more information and interaction out there. It is definitely a work in progress.
Definitely, man. And I'll make sure I put all your links into the description and pop up in the video, man. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I believe in you 100%. The team that you've been working with been excellent. Keep it up, guys. Guys and girls. I mean, that's just amazing. But bro, thank you again for being part of the People's Choice Podcast, family, or I should say, or I think it's appropriate if I say the People's Choice Podcast universe, man. We're in our own world now, any last words for my peeps that you want to end off?
Wow, that sounded super ominous.
I know, right? Any last word?
Like, are you ready to go, punk?
Bro, honestly, I thought about that like my last interview I did, and I was like, any last word? And I was like, damn, that sounds really bad. Maybe I should just say a final message or something. So that's funny when you said it. I was like, any final message for the peeps out there?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big one-liner kind of guy and walk out with a big bang. I don't know, man. Just do your best at whatever. I mean, I don't want to say do your best at whatever you're doing. If you can only give 10%, give 10% that day. The next day you might be able to give 15. The next day you might be able to give 100. Just do your best for the day. Give your best for the day every day. If that makes sense. Things make more sense when I write them down on paper, I promise. Don't take my speaking skills for my writing skills. I get more time to think about those things.
Wait, that was great though, bro. Matrell Wood, ladies and gentlemen. And we are out.
Oh, Alan People, ladies and gentlemen. Alan People.
Thank you, brother. You have a good one, man.